Welcome to Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner on Love 860 WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio. Lisa is a writer, producer, and innovative communicator with more than 20 years of experience. Join us as we connect you with inspiring experts and entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Your comments and questions are welcome during the broadcast. Call us live on the air at 404-355-8699. That's 404-355-8699. Now, here's Lisa Faulkner.
Summer. It's mid-May already. It's beautiful here in hot Atlanta. I hope it's beautiful where you are. And for all of my Atlanta listeners, thank you for joining us again this week. I got a hot show on tap for you. You know, I always say that. I love all of my guests because all of my guests are game changers. Do you know all the great ways you can stay connected with Game Changers? I hope you're listening or watching live online right now. Tune in to Love 860 online, and you can listen there and watch all these great guests in the studio with me today. When you're not live listening, go to iTunes and look for Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner. Leave me a rating or review there. So very important to keeping us on iTunes. Your rating and reviews are. So I appreciate your feedback there, just like I appreciate your listening here every week. You got to go. Are you on the move? You got a radio app then. Tune in per iHeart, tune in, and iRadio Now. You don't have to miss a moment of Game Changers. We will keep you informed of all of the great game-changing happenings coming your way here in Atlanta and across the U.S. and, you know, just all the great people making great strides in life. Continue to follow me, guys, on Facebook, Lisa M. Faulkner, LinkedIn, Lisa Faulkner, Twitter at Penstar Lisa, Instagram and Pinterest, Penstar Lisa there as well. You know what I'll do, right? I'll check your comments and I will connect with you. Game Changers, we are live, and so are you when you call 404-355-8699, or if you need the call to be on us, call 866-923-2860. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. I am excited. I am super excited today. I love Game Changers, but I love my Game Changers even more. And I've got a whole host of my Game Changers. I claim them. They are mine. They're my home folk. They're my home team. They're my everything. So you're going to hear why I'm so excited in just a few minutes. I want to tell you about a rising star. She is an honor student, to say the least. She's now 14 years of age, and she was born to Bridget and James Edwards in 2011. She's the youngest of 4 children. Her siblings are James Michael Edwards II, Jamesia Edwards, and Brittany Eatman. Jada's parents knew that she would be a special child because during her mother's pregnancy, the doctors were convinced that she would be born with Down syndrome and strongly suggested to abort the pregnancy. Jada's parents aborted the doctor's suggestions instead and birthed a very healthy and sweet child. I can vouch for that one, y'all. She has been receiving honors since kindergarten. She placed second in the math derby in second grade and vowed to place first the following year, and she did. Jada's honors include citizenship, Eagle Award, Principal's List, Honor Roll, Perfect Attendance, and Academic Excellence. Jada was recently inducted into the National Junior Honor Society, which is based on scholarship, leadership, service, character, and leadership. You know, I always get breathless when I'm going over these Game Changers bios. It's just too much. They are overachievers, and we've got another one in the building today because Jada has recently been nominated for the JAG Award, JAG Excellence Award, no less. And that means Student of the Year. So without any further remarks about how brilliant Jada is, let me just say, welcome to Game Changers, Jada.
Thank you.
Yay! Oh my gosh, Jada. I always knew you were great, but nah, I get to say all that, and that makes me understand just really how great you are.
Oh, thank you.
Well, congratulations to you. Get right in that mic, Game Changer. Now, Jada, what about this story your mother just brings me to tears with every time she tells about the doctor wanting her to abort you? How does that make you feel? What do you know about that?
I didn't know about the story that the doctors wanted them to get me to be aborted, but it really doesn't matter now because I'm here.
Because you're
and
here.
I'm healthy and I'm okay.
And you're a leader and you're great. Yes, I knew that story. Well, I've got Jada's parents in the studio with me as well. Are we hearing music? What's going on? Your went out. Okay, great. Are we good, Greg? All right. Well, I knew about that story. Are we good, Greg? Okay. I heard music, just didn't know what was going on there. Okay, we're good. All right. So I knew about that story, and I know that you are here and that you've been making strides ever since you've been here. And we so appreciate you for being just a blessing to your generation. You had to write a paper, Jada, about for this JAG Excellence Award that you've been nominated for, and you just pointed out some very significant things in that paper that I can see why they picked you out now. How do you feel about even being nominated?
I feel really great and know that all the hard work that I did paid off. Last year in 7th grade, being at an Honors Day program, I saw all these people getting principal's lists, and I know I used to be one of those people, and it just encouraged me even more. And the JAG Excellence Award is more than principal's list. So now that I know that I've done more than what I wanted, it's just an honor, and I'm excited.
We're excited for you too, Jada. Now, Jada, you're not at a school where all of your peers are like you or overachievers or doing excellent, or, you're at just a regular public school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How does it make you feel to be ahead of the pack or standing out amongst your peers like that? Does it bring you much good recognition, or is there some persecution? How does that look to your peers?
A lot of my peers are very happy for me, and they look up to me. Some of them do want to be just like me. They say that they wish they had my grades and my attitude towards certain things.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
And then there are others.
There are others. Yes, ma'am.
She said that there are others. What do we do about the others who maybe don't support you as much?
I just keep going because they're not the reason why I'm doing it. So I keep going, and for the ones who do support me, I thank you for them because they have been there.
Amen. That's good, Jada. So what does encourage you? What does motivate you to always do your best?
My parents.
And her parents are here today. Now, when you say that, Jada, what kind of encouragement is that? Is that just good, positive motivation? Are they really hard on you? Are they strict parents? Or why do they encourage you? What is it about them that encourages you so much to do your best?
Everything you just said.
Mm.
But no, they do it because
Okay.
they love me and they want to see me do my best. And that's all they ask for. My mom tells me that all the time. And
Wow.
I do it to keep a smile on their face.
She said, my mom tells me that all the time. I think that's a point. I think that's a tweetable moment, if you will. My mom tells me that all the time. I think children need to know what their parents want them to do. They need to be encouraged. They need to hear that from their parents. Now, you also take time to volunteer. You got behind some efforts in school and helped out communities or people that needed different things. What's going on with you there? Why do you care about the needs of others outside of your family?
Because I want to help everybody. It's godly like.
Mm.
I've always been told that I do things to just help people out of the kindness of my heart. So I just
Wow.
do it.
That's really good, Jada. You talked about your leadership abilities in your paper, and I was very struck that your leadership abilities didn't come from a power angle. You didn't just want to boss people around, but you said in your paper, and I'm quoting, I look for opportunities to display my leadership abilities by always being on my best behavior and leading by example. Where'd you get that from?
There's so many different attitudes at school, but my attitude, I want to have a positive attitude for other people. Just because some people might having a bad day, or
That's good. That's good. Mom, Dad, I know proud is what? Not the word?
It's really not.
What do you think about what you've produced here, James?
To God be the glory, Lisa.
Amen.
I constantly pray for my entire family. And when I get to my children, I do spend a little bit more time on them because I know of the things that they have to deal with on a daily basis, especially the school children today. So I am very proud of my daughter. She is so special in so many ways. And
Yes.
she's always had a caring heart. She's always been
Yes.
very giving. And I can go on and on because she's mine. We're very excited about the opportunities that's been given to her. It was just a few days ago that it was announced in the classroom about her receiving several awards from all of her teachers. And some of the students were not very happy about that. And I told her the very next morning to just pray and just leave it all in God's hands. And the very next day, it was told to her that she would be one of the individuals that would be up for the Student of the Year Award the very next day.
Wow.
And here we are 2 days from that on the air talking about these great accomplishments of my daughter. I'm so proud, very proud.
Amen.
Thank you.
It's because you're on the air, because you are a game changer. I talk to game changers. I talk to people who change the game for themselves, and I talk to people who use that opportunity to change the game for others. And welcome to the Game Changers family, Jada.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you are a shining star. Mom, what do you say? Mom is also my friend from way, way back, and this is just what we do. This is just what we produce. I never push one out, but so I had to take this opportunity to jump in here and let her just tell us about this great daughter she has.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for having us. As James said, we give God all of the glory, not taking any of that from him.
Yes.
Because the children today are exposed to a lot of outside influence, so it's really, really tough to get them on the straight and narrow path.
Yes.
But one of the things that I love about Jada is she's grounded. She stays humble, and that's the key the one thing that I love the most is that she she walks in humility. She doesn't take it for granted. She doesn't boast or brag about her accomplishments. And she tries to help other students. She's just telling me today, Mom, I have a dilemma. One of my friends not doing as well in math, and she wants me to help her, but I have to do the show.
What do I do? Oh,
Exactly.
my goodness.
Exactly.
That is the mark of a true game changer. That humanitarian side
Yes.
kicked in, and not even thinking about, I'm not even going to consider anybody else. I got this radio show today. But those were two very viable options for her at the same time.
Yes.
To help someone and to be exposed. Oh, wow. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. I think that Jada does a lot of watching too. She watches you and James and how you all live by example. And Jada, you even gave one of those examples in your paper that you wrote for the Student of the Year honor that's coming up. And we just receive it right now. We just know that in the wake, in the trail of all these other honors, that this one is just a natural thing to happen for you. So we're just expecting it and believing it and just thanking God in advance for just giving you this opportunity to go to the next level with the Student of the Year award. But you talked about honor and what it really means to you, and not just doing the right thing when someone is watching, but being true to yourself and doing the right thing when others are not watching. You talked about how you watched your mother do something pretty cool, I think. Tell us about that.
We were at a grocery store, and it was a new cashier. We were getting checked out, and she gave my mom too much change or over what she owed her back. So when my mom realized that, she took it back and gave it back to her, being the honest person my mom is.
That's something. Now, you all had gotten halfway home or home.
Halfway
home, Mom turns around and goes back to the store and gives back the overage she received.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
spoke volumes to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you try to do the same thing.
Yes,
When no one's watching, you want to do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
You know what? That's what grace is. That's what grace and favor comes out of. Grace is God saying, I'm going to give you all this. I'm going to give you all these opportunities in the world to do the right thing. And I'm not going to make you do the right thing. You know, it's up to you. It's almost like when the parents leave home and they leave you with that big old house and everything you get to do in it, and they want to see, are you going to be responsible? I kind of look at grace and God the same way. And I think that you're doing a very good job with the grace and favor that you're being shown.
Thank you so much.
What would you say to other students who want to follow a similar path as yourself?
Stay focused. Don't let nobody tell you no, because God says yes.
Another tweetable moment. Don't let anybody tell you no, because God says yes. Wow, that is good. We've got the doctor. You're going to hear from another doctor. I say another doctor because I'm already claiming that Jada will be the doctor she wants to be. You're going to hear from another one in just a little while here on the show, but even he is impressed with this honor student that we're talking to today, Jada Edwards. Now, Jada, I talked about what your future plans and what you aspire to be, and you want to be a particular type of doctor. What is it? Indra, you say it for me.
Endocrinologist.
Endocrinologist. I wasn't looking at it, and I was afraid I was going to goof it up if I tried to say it. Now, why that type of doctor, Jada?
This doctor kind of specializes in diabetes, and diabetes runs in my family on both sides, and I really just want to find out what we can do about this. So
I just want to find out what we can. I think she's ready to get down to business. I mean, you just want to find out what we can do about this,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I want to find out what you're going to make me cry. I just want to find out what we're going to do about this too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's that passion.
Oh my gosh, that's really cool, Jada. Well, I certainly appreciate your time here today. I hope that you will stick around for the hour. Before I have to let you go, please share anything you would like to the listening audience.
Thanks for listening. And thank you so much, Lisa, for having me here.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I love you so much.
Oh my gosh, Jada, I love you more. Mom, what do you want to say to the listening audience or children who aspire like Jada or parents who have the awesome task of getting them there? What do you want to share?
I would like to share something that Jada said. Don't take no for an answer. Even through adversity, keep pressing on. And we've had our share of adversity through her 3 years of of middle school, but we press forward, and now God is getting his glory. So keep going. Don't take no for an answer. And there's more than one way to accomplish something.
Wow, that's beautiful. But what I like is that you all didn't come in talking about the hardship. You didn't come in with your head hung low about whatever you might have been through or going through or whatever. You came in giving God glory for all of the good stuff.
Yes.
And the awesome opportunity that he's providing, Miss Jada Edwards, honor student and game changer.
Yes.
I love it. I love it, guys. Well, hey, y'all. Y'all know I love Game Changers of all ages. I could not miss this awesome opportunity to talk to this wonderful young lady about all of the great stuff that she's doing. I know that there are other peers, other like minds out there just like Jada. Just know that it's possible. I have spent intimate time with this young lady, and I know that one thing she does is she stays focused and she stays in her lane, and she is respectful, and she does what she's been called to do. She's been called to be a child at this time on this earth. She's been called to achieve in school. She's been called to support her family, and I know that she does all of those things. So I think a lot of times students and children just maybe don't know their role. Maybe their parents just don't express to them, what their calling is at that particular time in their life. But if we understand our roles and we understand our callings and our purpose, then we can get there. And I pray that all of you are on purpose as well. We got to get ready to go to break, but I did want to share Jada with you. I know you enjoyed her. I've got another great guest coming up for the second half hour. Please stay with us, Game Changers. Thanks for listening. Let's get ready to go to break, Greg. We'll be right back, guys.
Good job, Jada.
Great job.
Daughter of Destiny is what God calls the dynamic woman of God, Dr. D. Greathouse.
Let me tell you something. My life is anything but normal. When the Father and the Son are at the helm of it, and my best friend, the Holy Spirit, is guiding me every step of the way.
Dr. Greathouse's uncommon journey of life has led her to succeed, survive, and accept God's fresh breath of life into her destiny and the lives of everyone she touches through the prophetic gospel and teachings of D. Greathouse Ministries International.
When Jesus came to me in a vision and we were on the mountaintop, he said something to me that has resounded in my spirit for years. And he simply said this: I have blessed you so that you can bless many.
Dr. Greathouse will empower you to walk in the purpose God has for you. Now is your time to experience God's miracles taught in Dr. Greathouse's personalized Gold Faith package. You'll receive Dr. Greathouse's inspiring CD message, Faith, the Antidote.
I want to talk to you for a moment about the supernatural faith, which is a gift of God.
Learn how the gift of faith given to Dr. Greathouse gave her a personal testimony and an amazing healing from illness. Your healing will begin too as you read line by line of how she was able to forgive and minister after an unimaginable tragedy. She shares it all in her pages of her highly acclaimed book, What About Me? And from Dr. Greathouse's private vault, you'll also receive 1 gram of fine gold to remind you, as God reminded Haggai, silver and gold are his, and with it, he grants the great gift of peace. Get the entire Gold Faith package today for your faith gift of $149.99, or for a gift of $14.99. Receive either the What About Me book or the CD message, Faith, the Antidote. Call 855-334-7316 or log on to thegreathouseministries.com for the Gold Faith package today. That's 855-334-7316 or log on to thegreathouseministries.com today.
We are back, guys. Wow, I know you enjoyed Jada for that first half hour. We have another very special guest on tap. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. He's here to tell us primarily about a very festive and industrious event called Barbados Comes to Atlanta. But to tell you a bit about this gentleman, he's Dr. Edward Lane, and he was born in Barbados. He came to the U.S. and he attended Harvard and Tulane, graduated, and also got a medical degree from Tulane Medical School. He did something very extraordinary here in the 80s. He did his subspecialty training in gastroenterology.
Yes.
You know what? I have to just slow down on all these medical names, y'all. Jada and the doctor are
You're
just
doing
wearing me
well.
out.
You're doing well.
But he came to Atlanta in 1980 to help Dr. Lewis Sullivan start the clinical division of the Morehouse School of Medicine. And that is the only medical school to be founded in the U.S. in the 20th century. So that's very interesting. I want to learn a little bit more about that too. This gentleman has got strides and marks all over his bio that I want to learn a little bit more about. But to date, Dr. Lane has performed more than 30,000 gastrointestinal endoscopic procedures in all categories with no complications. Dr. Lane is the honorary for Barbados Council at Atlanta. In his capacity as honorary consul, he has provided guidance for the formation of several Caribbean American ventures, including computer literacy programs in the Caribbean schooling systems and programs improving teaching of STEM. That is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math. And of course, teaching of entrepreneurship. Dr. Lane was honored by the government of Barbados with the Silver Crown of Merit Award for his work with the Caribbean community in 2010. Welcome to Game Changers, Dr. Lane.
I'm honored to be
Oh
here.
my gosh.
I heard so much about you, and finally to meet you. I am honored.
Wow. Well, I'm honored that you heard about little old me.
Oh, no.
Well, tell us, sir, now how did you come to be the council of the honorary for Barbados Council of Atlanta?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that because you are a native, or was it because of your work with the connection? Tell us about that.
Well, the role of the Honorary Council is I'm really a representative of the island of Barbados to the state of Georgia. Right? So what we do is we look at connecting businesses and cultural organizations and so on between the two countries. So it really is facilitating the bridging of these two cultures. Barbados we're very fortunate. We're developed country among probably the third, the only other one outside of the U.S. and Canada in this part of the Americas. And so we've worked really hard to try to maintain that status and be a good friend and neighbor of the U.S.
Excellent. I was going to say, tell us a little bit about Barbados and its independence. It's been independent for more than 50 years now, right?
That's it.
And just tell us a little bit about Barbados.
Well, it's a fascinating little country, believe it or not. The first 7 governors of Carolina, of Charleston, Carolina, were white Barbadian planters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Barbados.
Say that again.
The first 7 governors of Carolinas, of Charleston, were white Barbadian planters.
Oh, wow.
So Barbados is unique in that it is the second oldest parliamentary democracy in the world. So King George would send a lot of his buddies down to Barbados to own plantations because sugar was like gold back in the 16th, 17th century.
Yes.
And so if you had a plantation you were rich. And so he would give plantations to his good friends down in Barbados because the soil there was very fertile. And then he would pick his buddies to come up and be governors of South Carolina. And remember that South Carolina, that Charleston, that the U.S. was literally ruled from that, because the U.S. was a colony then, right? And the U.S. was sort of ruled from Charleston. So there's a long connection between Barbados and this part of the Carolinas, Georgia, that goes back for more than 3 centuries.
Wow,
and
that's
so
fascinating.
They're whites and blacks, and of course the plantation owners would bring their slaves with them, right? So they're blacks and whites in the Carolinas, the Geechees and Gullahs. They can trace their ancestry directly back to Barbados.
Oh, that's fascinating. And the people of Barbados, their origin there, or did they not get to Barbados much the way we got to the States?
Sure. They were slaves. They were slaves that were brought in to manage the sugarcane plantations.
Yes.
Yeah? Right, and so but it's fascinating history.
And the racial makeup at this time?
Well, it's probably about 95%. 95% African. Afro-Caribbean descendants.
Yes.
Right, and then about 5% whites. But many of the whites were indentured servants that had come in from Ireland and so on, and with others that had come directly from Britain.
Excellent. So that's quite a turn for Barbados. Not only are you independent, but the blacks are in government and leadership.
Right.
And
well, I grew up seeing black governors and law and judges and ministers and so on. So, but having said that, what we try very hard to maintain sort of racial harmony because blacks and whites see themselves as Bajans. Right?
Got it.
Yeah, and so we've done a very good job in trying to make sure that we maintain. We worry about the economy and educating our people.
Yes.
And try to maintain all sorts
harmonious
of
racial relations.
Absolutely.
That is good. Yeah. That is good. That is good. That is an American struggle. So it is good to hear when it is happening on any front besides.
Yes.
Barbados comes to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we have looked at Atlanta as the center of action of the Southeast, really. We think about it.
You're not the only one that looks at Atlanta like the center of action.
Just think about it. You now have the biggest airport, the busiest airport.
The busiest.
Soon you'll have the largest port, right, in Savannah, when it's finished. And you've got just an incredible representation of all the Fortune 500 companies. You're the center of logistics with, right?
That's true. That's true.
With UPS, and we now have direct connections between Delta, direct flights, non-stop flights from Delta to Barbados, and we're very pleased about that.
Excellent.
So we're excited about what's happening in Atlanta, and we think that half of the global business TPP was just transacted in Atlanta.
Okay,
Trans-Pacific Partnership.
That is correct.
And so we're very excited about what's happening in Atlanta, and so we've said, look, Atlanta is going to be the place to be in the 21st century. We want to establish these relationships, right?
This moves around for you, so we would like for it to.
Yeah.
Hey, sir, so this is May 26th through the 29th.
Yes.
Is this the inaugural?
Yes. Well, what we've done is we've chosen Atlanta as the city where the diaspora, meaning people from Barbados,
yes, sir,
from all over the U.S. and Canada, and from Britain, will come in to celebrate the 50th anniversary in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a jam-packed weekend. And what we've done is we've said we want to be the center of business and entrepreneurship in the Caribbean for over the next 2 decades.
Excellent.
We want to transform the society. And to do that,
Wow.
we need advice. And so
Yes.
what we've done is we've asked the business schools in this area to come in and tell us how we should do it from a business point of view. We've asked the schools of education to tell us how we should educate our students so that they can become entrepreneurs and business persons.
Yes, sir.
We've asked the schools of science and technology to tell us what we need to teach in the schools. And we've asked Morehouse and some of the schools of medicine to say, how do we keep our people healthy, right? So that we don't bounce from Ebola to Zika to Chikungunya, right?
Oh my gosh.
And completely ruin our economy. And so that's what's happening on days 1 and 2, 26 and 27. And then we have fun on Saturday.
All right. We got to have fun.
Right, it was a
Yes.
an incredible cultural event
Oh
in
my
which we
gosh.
bring 5 Bajan chefs to share, give you a taste of Barbados.
Oh my gosh.
And you get Bajan music, and art and so on of Barbados, and it's all on the grounds of right next to the Martin Luther King Center on the field right next to the Civil
wow.
Rights Walk of Fame.
That's for the party.
Yes,
But
that should be
the
fun.
conference part of it will take place
Marriott Marquis.
at the Marquee.
Marriott Marquis.
Wow, you're just doing it in the
Yeah,
best places
yeah.
for all of the
It should be fun.
events.
Should be fun.
It should be
And
fun.
then there's a huge gala on Sunday night.
Oh,
so fun.
okay.
And there's still tickets available for the gala.
For the gala. But how is the participation doing overall?
For the conference, we're totally oversubscribed. We had to ask them to put another 100 seats in the auditorium.
Oh my gosh.
We're oversubscribed for the conference. And,
Oh my gosh.
and I had more speakers than I can have. So we've got 2 deans of the business schools for the business end. We've got just very sharp people.
I love the way that you're going to do it because you're going to take these educators from Barbados and put them with educators in
that's right,
Atlanta,
yeah.
these science people
Right.
from Barbados and put them with scientists
Right.
in Atlanta.
Right.
Now, how are you going to make these matches? Is this going to be from one presentation to another or conference setting, or how does this all take
Yeah,
place?
excellent question. And the reason I'm doing this, of course, is that we don't know what we don't know, right?
That's good.
And if we just went out on what we knew, we couldn't get where we want to go.
Exactly.
We need to know exactly what it is, what we don't know. So we're asking the other folks to educate us as to where they think we should be going. You see?
Okay.
Right. Now, what we're doing is that we've actually, in days 1 and 2, we get these educators to present how they think. We've given them a theme, the overall theme. And so what do you think we ought to do to get where we want to go in your particular area?
Got it.
Right, and then on the all happens on Thursday. On Friday, the Barbados comes and says, "Look, here's what we have to offer right now. Here are the businesses we do: offshore banking, we've got tourism. We've got we're trying to do some knowledge-based industries because we spent the 50 years just educating our people, and so that's on Friday morning." And then in the afternoon, the American businesses come in and say, "Okay, well, here's what we want to buy," right? So if you want us to buy what you are selling, here's some things we think you ought to be doing. Yeah,
These are
exactly.
great ideas. Who put this together? Who came up with this? Did the mighty council sitting here with me come up with this?
Well, you never do anything by yourself. You
That's
know that,
right.
right? You
That's
start.
right.
You start it with the guy,
That's
with
right.
the guy or the lady upstairs. Right?
Amen,
You go,
amen.
Right. You start it with the good Lord, and then you just use years of of your own experience, and then tap other people's experience, and putting together a program so that you have a nice time at a party, but you take something away.
What does the Barbados culture look like here, or that diaspora as you describe it?
Well, we've spent the last 50 years spending probably close to 20 to 25% of our budget in education.
Oh, wow.
Because our parents always told us they can't take it out of your head. And so we have had almost 100% literacy rate for the last probably almost 30 years.
That's
one of the highest
wonderful.
literacy rates in the world.
That's wonderful.
At the turn of the century, and a good friend of mine, Professor Ward from MIT, who's also, he and I grew up together since we were kids, we said, look, literacy in the 21st century is not going to be reading and writing, it's going to be computer literacy. And so we then decided that we wanted to make all of the kids in the island computer functional, computer literate.
Got it.
So at first we sent our own, we bought the computers and sent them down, right? But eventually the government clicked in, and now we've probably got seniors come into church now, and they don't open the Bible; they open their little laptop.
Oh, wow.
And I say, "Wow, I've lived to see the day. It's amazing. It's exciting."
That's excellent.
Yeah.
So literacy is high on your list in Barbados.
Yeah.
Most of your economic development, though, still stems from tourism. Is it fair to say?
Yes, tourism is the number one driver, but we're rapidly moving past that because if you have a Zika, tourism can go in a flash. And so what we've done is we've gotten a very large footprint in the whole area of offshore banking, right? And so because it's a knowledge-based industry.
It sounds sophisticated.
Right, yep. And so offshore banking is the big industry. And we're now doing things like medical tourism. We have an in vitro fertilization center in Barbados that has the highest success rate in the world.
Wow.
In vitro fertilization.
That's great.
I mean, it's exciting.
That is exciting.
In fact, she's going the marketing director for that is going to be presenting at this conference.
Wow.
As
she should.
Yeah, because we're looking at centers of entrepreneurship, right? And this has been a success story. And so we want to say to our people, look, don't think of problems. Every problem is an entrepreneurial opportunity.
It is, as Jada said.
Yes,
we need to see what
I was
we're
so impressed with this little girl. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm saying, whoa, age 14.
Loved it. She said we need to see what we're going to do about it.
14.
Yes. Don't you love it?
There's an app for that.
There it is.
Yeah. I mean, that is exactly and I'm so proud of her parents that because I know she couldn't be there without their guidance.
I am so proud of her parents too.
Yeah.
They're so rich. Their souls are so rich, and they're just such beautiful people. And I've always, prayed for and encouraged them.
And you and I want to encourage all the parents out there just to follow their footsteps.
Yes.
That is what our children need.
Right.
We need parents to stand up and be parents.
Not a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Not a lot of riches and this stuff that is so fleeting and just good, solid foundations. Give me that.
Parenting.
Give me that old-time religion,
Parenting. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, now, so if I want to take a trip to Barbados, what am I looking at? What kind of? How will you encourage me to get there?
Well, you get special treatment, So you've got my card.
I appreciate that.
Your card, but Delta flies directly from Atlanta to Barbados now, so we're very excited about that, and we've got a great relationship with Delta, and so. You can fly in for a weekend, or you can fly in for a week, and that's good.
What's the best thing to do in Barbados?
Well, there are. Well, let me just say, if you're a foodie, you can eat at a different restaurant every night of the year, and never eat a bad meal.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was. It's actually the only place in the Caribbean that's on the Zagat guide for food.
Wow.
Yeah? But there are all sorts of things you can do. I mean, if you like sports along the coastal sports, anything that that has to do with the ocean, you got beautiful beaches, of course. Now the eastern side of the ocean is rugged and rocky because east of us, there's nothing but 3,000 miles of ocean, and Africa on the other side.
Wow!
So the wind comes across that ocean, and it's the freshest breeze you've ever had.
Gosh!
That's why George Washington went to Barbados. Barbados is the only country outside of the U.S. that George Washington never visited.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he took his brother there because the air was so pure that they thought that his brother had TB, and the air in Barbados was reputed to cure TB. Right? Well, unfortunately, his brother never made it, but what happened is he learned how to manage smallpox while he was there, and then he was able to use that to prevent his troops from getting smallpox in the Revolutionary War.
Oh, wow.
It's a fascinating story.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
Tell the people how they find out more about Barbados Comes to Atlanta, March 26th through the 29th.
All right. Well, you can go to our website, which is barbadoscomesto.org, www.barbadoscomesto.org. And there you can see, you can flip through the website and you can purchase. Now, you can purchase gala tickets. Unfortunately, the last time I checked, all of the other sessions were oversubscribed.
Oh, my gosh.
But we just asked the hotel
That
to
is
add
so
another
good.
100 seats to the auditorium. So please check and see if you can still get into. But we've got an app on the site that you can download the app. There's an app for that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you can actually send questions in to the conference. The conference is outlined. The different sessions are outlined.
Okay.
And you can actually send questions into the various presenters and to the moderators. And then we'll probably be doing live streaming video around the world of the conference as well. So you can sit at home and watch the conference if you wanted to, if you can't get in. And so it's exciting.
And what will be your role there,
Oh, the
sir?
others are free. Let me just say that the Saturday functions are free.
Okay.
Thursday and Friday are free as well if you can get in.
Oh, wow.
But the Saturday is on the grounds of right adjacent to the Martin Luther King Center, so you can come and enjoy good Bajan food, Bajan.
That's very important to say.
Yes, all the music and so on. You can come and enjoy that.
And that's going to be on open grounds,
right?
Right,
Open grounds, right. And of course, we don't mention rum on this show, but we're the home of rum. We are actually the home of rum.
You can mention rum on the show. We have some drinking, cursing Christians to come through here sometimes. I think we're still going to make it in.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. It is my sincere pleasure to have you. Welcome to the Game Changers family.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's been fun. I've heard a lot about you, and it's such a pleasure to meet you.
Well, it is my sincere pleasure. How has Atlanta been to you, sir?
Well, I've been, I must tell you, when I first decided to come to Atlanta, my wife was a Washington lawyer, and I went home and I said to her, I came in and saw the trees. I'd come from Boston, New York, Washington, and I went back and I said, I found a nice place where I think we can raise our family.
Oh.
And she said, where? I said, Atlanta. She says, as in Georgia? I said, I said, yes. She said, over my dead body.
Oh, my goodness.
So I dragged her here kicking and screaming. Of course, you couldn't get her back north now with a team of mules, right?
That's right.
But so Atlanta's been great. It's been a great city for us. I've raised 2 children here. They've both done really, really well.
Wow.
And my son is at Microsoft. My daughter's one of the directors at Spanx. And so we...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she, it's been very...
Good.
been
That's
very good to us.
exciting. We love Spanx. We're going to take a quick break, guys, and then I'm going to come back and tell you how much I love you more and say goodbye to you for this hour. But please stay with us through the break.
It was fun.
The Sankofa Media Group is a mass media company that creates socially responsible, informative, and entertaining content that reaches audiences all over the world. Sankofa Media's leading-edge technology and know-how develops winners into who they were created to be. Timely radio and talent like Blog Talk Radio's Abiding the Tripartite.
God tells us in His Word we can have what we say, but we are always saying what we have. You must believe to the point of expectation, and you shall receive.
In Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner.
I want to talk to the game changers. I want to talk to the ones who the game was changed on, but yet they triumphed. I want to talk to the people who provide a platform for others to change the game for themselves.
Sankofa publishes messages of love, hope, and redemption that connect with us where we need it the most.
The book, What About Me, is a story of the kind of faith and courage that engages the reader to reflect personally and spiritually, especially in these uncertain times of today. It's a great thought-provoking page-turner.
If you're ready to step out of the boat and join the Sankofa Media Group in showcasing your God-given gifts and talents, contact us today at 855-334-7316. That's 855 334-7316.
Well, we are back, guys. Wow, what another great hour, right? Fantastic student on tap, honorary student Jada Edwards graced us for the first half hour. Then we talked with Dr. Lane, who has just been making strides here in Atlanta for so many great years. And now he's connecting his native country with Atlanta and just doing wonderful, wonderful things. So I hope you check him out. Check him if you're able to find him. There are going to be so many people there. May 26th through the 29th. That's going to be at the Marquee downtown Atlanta for the conferences. Is that correct? Yes, and then at the King Center for the festivities. So we're just excited, and we're very, very grateful that we were able to inform you all about this wonderful event. It certainly sounds worthwhile to me. Hey, Game Changers, I got to get ready to let you go. You know I hate it when we come to this time of the hour, but it's been a wonderful hour with you. I thank you, as always, for tuning in. I know that you're making strides in your life as well. I want to tell you one more time what I think the key is to making those wonderful strides. It's what Jada said. It's to stay focused. It's to keep your eyes on what you know you've been called to do. All of us learn those wonderful lessons that Jada has gleaned from her parents and her teachers and the leaders that represent goodness in her life. We can all pull from some of those lessons as well. There was someone, you would not live this life. God would not allow you to live this life if he did not allow someone to come alongside you and plant some goodness in you. So I know that it's there, and don't let anything keep you down. If you can handle the persecution, you can stand to be blessed. So just get out there and do your best. Hey, Game Changers, I gotta go. I will talk to you in 6:23. That's 6 days and 23 hours. Until then, do your best.
Thank you for listening to Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner. For more details about anything discussed on the program, go online to www.penstar.org. That's PENSTAR.org. And be sure to follow Lisa on social media. On Facebook, look for Lisa M. Faulkner, and follow Penstar Lisa on Twitter and Instagram. And join us every week at this same time for Game Changers with Lisa Faulkner, right here on Love 860 WAEC, Atlanta's inspirational talk radio.